So you want to move to Boise, Idaho, and you're thinking, I don't want to live in town. Let me introduce you to Hidden Springs and Cartwright Ranch, two lovely master plan communities side by side in the foothills. Hey friends, welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time here, let me introduce myself. My name is Craig Flood. I'm a real estate agent here in Idaho. And if you're looking to move to Idaho and you want to know all about it, all the major cities, what it's like living in those cities, what winter is like, what housing is like, then be sure to subscribe to the channel. I post a new video each week for you. In today's video, we're going to be looking at two master plan communities in the Boise foothills. I'm going to drive you around, show you the neighborhoods. We're going to talk about the elementary school that they have located there. We're going to talk about the water treatment plant. And then in addition to showing you guys around the general area, we're also going to look inside two James Clyde's homes so that you can see what it might look like if you decided to live here. We're also going to look at the foothills. If you want to live somewhere where you have great access to the foothills and walking and trails, then this is a community that you should consider. So be sure to stick around till the end so that you get a really good understanding if this is an option for you, and when you plan your trip out here, if it's a community that you should have on your list. Hidden Springs and Cartwright Ranch of Hidden Springs are two master plan communities in the Dry Creek Valley of Ada County. When you think of these two communities and where they're located, it is a very picturesque rural environment with ample open space and trails held in conservation dedicated to the residents' use. So as I'm talking about this, I'll try to not interchange them too much, but they are kind of two different communities. Cartwright is going to be a little bit newer. Hidden Springs is going to be a little bit older, but they do share some of the same things. And I'll start off with one thing, and I kind of mentioned this already, but Hidden Springs manages 800 acres of permanently preserved open space. So that's great for you if you really want to enjoy the outdoors and have that at your kind of front door. In addition to that, for some of you who are considering, well, what about the infrastructure and things like that? Because these communities are removed a little bit, you might be thinking, well, how do we get our water, or what happens when we call 911? So Hidden Springs has its own water treatment plant, so you're covered there. In addition to that, Hidden Springs has its own fire department, so you're covered there. So now for Hidden Springs specifically, let's talk about like the architecture and what you're going to see there. I know some of you, when we talk, you say, I don't want a cookie cutter home. And you're not going to necessarily find cookie cutter homes in one sense in Hidden Springs. Hidden Springs primarily has a neo-traditional style, with many homes having access through the rear of the home along an alleyway, which results in a neighborhood that has a more kind of pedestrian friendly environment, which is generally not as typical in more suburban subdivisions. Additionally, in terms of the architecture, you're going to have Craftsman, Mediterranean, contemporary, and Victorian style designs. Now, before we jump too far in, let's talk about location real quick. So this area is about 20 minutes out from downtown Boise. You get all the luxuries of living really close to town. So you get a great airport out of Boise. You get the shopping that Boise offers and the downtown. Again, that's the capital city of Idaho. So just think if you're living out there, again, you don't have all the amenities accessible to you, though you do have some, and we'll talk about that later. But if you're thinking, hey, I want to go hit up a grocery store to do a run, you're looking at a minimum of 12 minutes if you're okay with Albertsons. Or you could do 13 minutes and scoot over a little bit. That's going to get you to Winco. And Trader Joe's is going to be about a 30-minute drive from the area, and Costco is going to be about a 35-minute drive. And also from there to get to the airport, you're also looking at about 35 to 40 minutes. And also for all my ski buddies and snowboard buddies out there, you're looking at about 45 minutes from there up to Bogus Basin. So that kind of sets the stage with some logistical locations and driving times. But just so you know too, the roads, there's like three ways in and out, but the roads are very kind of hilly and swervy. In addition to that, a lot of people are out getting exercise, so they're biking those roads. So you're going to see a lot of cyclists as you're driving through that area, so you're always mindful of that. Now, again, another benefit of living in this area is that you're kind of woven in and mixed into the foothills. So for example, if you lived at the top of this hill here, you'd have a walking path right here to where you can get access and just walk out into the hillside. Now, here's somebody's backyard right here, and here is the walking path. And in addition to that, here is the water treatment. Now, it might be hard to tell, but you kind of see homes up on the hillside over there, down in this little valley right here. But again, a great place to live if you want to be in the foothills and you want to be walking around and you don't want to be too far from downtown Boise or Eagle. I just wanted to pause for a moment too. If you guys are thinking about moving to the area and are interested in a place like Hidden Springs, then be sure to reach out. You can call, text, or email days, nights, or weekends, and we can help you on your journey of calling Idaho home. Now let's touch on some real estate notes that are going to be highlighting this area of Hidden Springs. The median sale price in this area is roughly $874,000. The median sale price per square foot is right around $304. Currently, in terms of the market, houses stay on the market for roughly 29 days. And just to give you a bearing, there were roughly 74 homes that were sold in that community in the last year. And in Hidden Springs, you are going to have some HOAs. So I know some of you hate HOAs, but they're going to have them here. And those HOAs are right around $250 quarterly, plus setup fees and transfer fees. So here we are in Hidden Springs, kind of where the stores are, and I want to show you guys around so you can get a feel for what it's like. So that's kind of the far side of it. Right here, we got a community library, which is really nice. Some commercial spaces. Right here is the mail room. So the community mail room, something you're going to notice out here is mailboxes are not in front of your house. They're at the mail room. Got a little wine store in there. It's kind of the mercantile. Get some food, pastries, little shop. And here we have Spring House restaurant. Get a burger, get something good to drink. And then over here we got a coffee shop right around the corner that's kind of connected to this bar place here. Got Rooted Coffee Company. They're closed right now, but let's go ahead and peek through the window, huh? Across the street there, we have the fire department. So if anything happens, you got those guys really close by. And here's a shot inside the restaurant. Hidden Springs also has a community farm that you can have the option of interacting with, which covers about 5 to 10 acres. And with that farm, it produces 20 weeks of organic produce for shareholders. And all that is available at the weekly market. So here we are on one of the walking paths in the area, and there is a creek that runs right through here. We'll give you guys a shot of that here. And don't forget, this is January, so it's the end of January. Things are definitely looking a little dead. In the summertime, it is just beautiful. There are trees everywhere. The hills are lovely looking. The weather is just right. But out here in this area, it's just really, it's quiet. When you're out driving around, you see a lot of people going for walks, walking their dogs, taking them to a field, throwing the frisbee. It does get a little windy out here, depending on where you're at, if you're protected from the wind or not. And again, living up here, you're not too far from Boise or cutting out over to Eagle until you have really good access to things, but at the same time, you're getting some of the beauty that you can't necessarily get like this in Boise. You got some great views, you got the rolling hills, and again, you're just away from it all. And another thing too, so this path that I'm walking on right here, you actually have these lovely houses just right along it. So they're overlooking the path. So if they wanted to walk out and just go for a walk, they absolutely can. And these paths connect all through this area, which is one reason that makes this area a great place to live. If you enjoy walking and getting out, you can walk the trails, you can walk up the foothills, but it's really good for somebody who wants to live that active lifestyle. Now let's talk about Cartwright Ranch, and after this we're going to talk about schools so that you know what your options are if you choose to live there. So in terms of community amenities in Cartwright Ranch, let me show you what that looks like. Here we are in the Cartwright neighborhood, and we have the kind of commercial area for Cartwright. Right behind me we have a gym. We also have the community pool right there, and then right here we have a community space. It's got a kitchen, open room, chairs, tables. And then off to my right, we have pickleball. So if you're somebody who's into the pickleball sport, we got a nice pickleball court right there. And then right up here ahead of us, we have Cartwright shops. So over there, we got a veterinarian. And then over here, we have the rib shack. So again, we are far away from Boise up here, but it's nice that they've done a little bit of commercial space and kind of created a place for the community to gather. So this is the rib shack. So just imagine you make some friends because maybe they all go to school together, and you meet some friends as you're picking up mail, and then you guys can get together and grab dinner. But here you're going to find a variety of home options. You're going to find some with larger lots and more upkeep, but then you're also going to find some like that with smaller lots, not really any upkeep on the front, kind of zero-scaped. But right here, we have a home for sale, and you can see
you'd be a couple feet away from the rib shack. So maybe that's a good thing. Maybe that's a bad thing. Maybe you'd eat too many ribs and this is just too close for you. But here's an example of a home that's for sale.
Now, some real estate statistics for Cartwright Ranch are as follows. A median sale price for Cartwright Ranch is right around $1 million. So in terms of square foot, that's going to be right around $333 a square foot. Right now, median days on market in this area is going to be 28 days. And over the last 12 months, 40 homes have been sold in this community. And you're also going to have HOAs here again, which are right around $250 quarterly. And you're also going to have setup fees and transfer fees. Now let's talk about schooling for this area.
Now that's something really nice about living in the Hidden Springs area is that you have a local elementary school. And this is a benefit because obviously you are a little far away from Boise and Eagle. And so it's nice to have this in your backyard. Your kids could essentially walk home from school. They get to meet friends in the neighborhood who live here.
Something interesting to note about this is this school is rated an 8 out of 10 by greatschools.com. Now, when your kids go on from elementary and move on to junior high, they're going to be in Hillside Junior High. And for high school, they're going to be in Boise High School.
And again, that's one of the nice things about the areas that helps draw people in and makes this community feel really small and close-knit in a good way. One of the things is you guys all have to go get your mail at the same location. If you have elementary school children and you send them locally, they're going to go to school right there. And so it's just another way that you're going to be able to get to know your neighbors, whether they're right across the street from you or a few blocks over.
Now, briefly, I just want to show you some shots. There were 2 homes that I was able to get into while I was filming for you guys. So I want to show you what that would look like. These 2 homes are going to be in Cartwright Ranch. They're up on the hill a little bit. They're side by side. They both have a view looking east.
All right, as we walk into the house, we have a nice open seating area to our right. The living room directly in front of us. Really tall ceilings. And then right into the kitchen and dining area. We also have some really great views. We'll look at that in a moment. Here we have an island, 2 really nice pendants. Off to our right, we have built-in appliances with the fridge, extra wide fridge. Again, really nice large windows looking straight onto the hills. Let's go check out the master. So here's the master. Again, great views onto the foothills. Going to the master bath. All right, now let me show you guys the next house up here. This is gonna be another James Clyde home. So as we walk in, you step right into the living space with the beautiful views right up against the foothills. And then off to our right, we have the open kitchen. We're gonna have 2 islands on this model. Got the range right over there. 6 burners with a grill in the middle. You got the built-ins. And then here we have the farm style sink again. So here we are back into the living. And then these are 2 large sliders, again, that open onto the covered patio, which will give you some nice shade in the summer times. So here we are into the master bedroom. Again, beautiful views from the master bedroom. And now we're into the master bath. The tub. 2 sinks, the little his and hers action here. Say hi to you guys.
And there's one other home for sale in this little area that I want to show you guys. Something that's unique about this is that it comes with 9 acres. Again, I'm on a lot of phone calls with you and I hear things like, we want 5 to 10 acres. So here is an option for you to get something like that kind of nestled into this community. So right now this home is listed at $2.9 million. It's a 5-bedroom, 6-bath, 4,940 square feet. It was built in 1985 and it's sitting on a 9-acre lot. And this home was completely renovated and remodeled by the owner / builder who lived there. Thanks again for watching this video. I appreciate all of you. It's truly a pleasure helping people just like you relocate. With that being said, I'll see you in the next video.